Restaurant Unstoppable. What the most successful restaurateurs know that you don't. So just kind of, you mentioned your strength, your team, the ability with marketing. I mean, what advice do you have around marketing? I know it's a really broad question, but take us there.
So I think one thing we do really well is prepare for an opening. We have like a pretty good following in terms of like our Instagram accounts and social media accounts, but whenever we go into like a part of the city, we really tap into, okay, who are our neighbors? What businesses are around here? And I mean, in this instance, we probably did 12 soft openings with different groups of people before we opened, because I mean, we did a tea room happy hour soft opening. We did like a little bit of a music soft opening. We did a lunch soft opening. Like we did all of these different things to see what worked and what didn't. And it gave so many people a taste of, what was to come in a setting that we weren't necessarily being judged fully. It was like, hey, thank you for helping us train. Thank you for helping us get ready. And that's one thing we always invest in, is we make sure we're ready to open before we actually open the doors to the general public. And it takes a lot of inventory. It takes a lot of working capital, but it is something that always has to be in our budget before we open, because we only get one chance to open to the public, and we want people to walk in and feel like we've been open for months the first time we open the doors to the public.
So what is that approach? Is it a soft? How many do you do? A bunch of soft openings?
I think we did 12 soft openings here at the Jones. Yeah.
And do you announce when you're going to be opening, or do you kind of just open under the radar?
We made the mistake of saying an opening date early on in like the life of the social order, and I think we've just learned now like not to set a date, because
I kind of agree.
We always push it back.
Yeah, because things always happen, especially with a build out like this. There's a bajillion different things that you just cannot foresee postponing the actual opening date. And like you said, you get one shot. You get one shot to bring somebody back a second time. And I can't remember the numbers, but if somebody comes back a third time, they're like 70% more likely to be a regular guest or something like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like if you can get them to come back a second time, they're like 30% more likely to be a regular. But if you can come back a third time, now you're starting to develop a habit. Now you're starting to develop relationships, and they're 70% more likely to come back. But if you lose them on that first experience, game over. It will be really hard to convince them to come back. Somebody's going to have to pull them back in. But if they're going to do it on their own free will, you got to make a great experience. You can't lose them.
Absolutely.
I love that.